Hello and welcome to CI Hub. My name is Gerd and this session is about how to manage identical file names with the CI Hub connector. DAM systems can handle identical file names without any problems. And if I want to know what's behind the asset, I have to look at the metadata. Now that works as long as I'm in the DAM. But when it comes to high-res output, I have to make the assets physically available. And when I download assets with identical file names to place or link them to my InDesign document, the file names will change. Of course, otherwise I would overwrite the existing file. And working with identical file names based on different source systems will lead to further confusion. But there are other pitfalls. I can do a bulk download. That leads to the same result. So let's unzip the file and open the folder. But if the bulk download is done with a different sorting criteria, then the file names get out of my control. So let's have a look at these two downloads. The window on the left side is my first download, and on the right hand side the second download with the other sorting criteria. Now let's have a look at these two files named pool-1.jpg. They're completely different, and that's not what we want. Replacing an already linked asset named pool-1.jpg with a new variant via download could lead to uncontrollable results. And at this point, my DAM is no longer my single source of truth. To stay consistent, I would have to move assets with the same file names into different folders. And on top of that, I have to take into account that some of these are based in different source systems. Assuming I took all this into account and spent a lot of time on it. If I save my InDesign document as a package, the file names with the same names are changed again. And all this effort for a one-time proof or a print output. So what happens if one of the assets named pool.jpg gets a new version? It's impossible to track them all, especially when I change the file names manually. So wouldn't it make sense to dynamically manage my InDesign document, including the linked assets? And wouldn't it make sense to produce your proof or your print PDF on demand without worrying about file names, asset versions, and asset availability? So that's what the CI Hub connector is built for. So let's see how to automatically manage identical file names. With this checkbox, you can enable the use of assets with identical file names. To open this menu, just select an image, tap the Use File button, and the settings come up. All these settings will be stored until you change them again. Now let's see how this works during the image placement process. I select my image, tap the Use File button to set up my default settings, enable Same File Name is checked, and a target folder is selected. In the upper left corner, I will show how the folder structure builds up automatically. Now let's drag and drop the images into the target frames. And as you can see, the folder structure is created automatically. And we are using assets with the original identical file names. And they can be identified by an ID. Now let's see how it works if the checkbox is disabled. I drop the first image, no folder is created. I drop the second one, and the warning comes up. No overwriting files, no renaming of files, just enable same file names, and that's it. And if I take a look at the check panel, you can see that the links are identical to the file names in MyDam, and the logo in front of the file name shows the source system. So let's see how it works if we are using identical file names out of different source systems. The first image comes from the DAM, the second image also, and let's switch to Dropbox and grab the third image, which is also named pool.jpg. And as you can see, even the source system is visible in the folder structure. So we've just created a dynamic folder structure depending on the source system and its assets. And the check panel has consistent file names, links, and information regarding source system. Let's have a short wrap-up. With the CI Hub connector, you can manage your documents and links dynamically. You can produce proof or print PDF on demand without worrying about file names, versions, availability, etc. You can reduce manual effort and error rate to 0. You can stay consistent in terms of file names and links, and you can use a proper versioning without mixing up linked assets. This is how CI Hub improves the management of assets. If you have any questions, please visit our website or shoot me an email. I hope you find this session helpful, and thanks for watching. Have a nice day.